Hello, hello. Welcome to another Mystery Funhouse Mystery Tournament 19 match. Our racers are still struggling with some tech issues. But coming up, we have Exuno versus Somegi. Both very experienced racers. Exuno also previously organizing some seasons of the mystery tournament. Okay, looks like they might be on the way to figuring out the tech issue. Yeah, both of them have definitely been here a lot. Both of them 11th edition, that's interesting. Joining in different MTs, but apparently summing up to the same number of tournaments joined. And Somgi's best placement was 9th in MT14, so just barely missing top 8. And Exuno's best placement was 13th in their first MT. Oh no, I'm misreading, that's 16, not 6. Yeah, got 13th in MT16, so not that long ago. Also a pretty high rank. Let's see what they've played. So this is a Lizards 4, I take it, from what I see here. Exuno played versus Juhos in Ice Spy Castle. I think that might have been the first race of this MT. And it's a hidden object game on the Nintendo DS. That was a fun watch. Not a genre we see often, but not the only hidden object game this year. Then won against Adresadini in Sabnek, my favorite fantasy action puzzle game. Lost against Bright Shadow in Cataracte. I remember seeing this game. Actually, no, I raced it even in a former MT. As some kind of challenge platformer. And Somegi won against Full Lizards in Hot Heat Reset Chapter 1. I think that's like the block movement action puzzle game, I wanna say. Very glowy, kinda neon colored. Then lost against Aaron Dobby in Powerput Legend, a Team Bagulon golf game. And Somegi won against It Might Be Mikey in Super Puzzled Cat. Probably one of my favorite MT games this year. And apparently Somegi was also in the Cataracte match. Yeah, that was a double, right. And Somegi won against Gel. It's funny that they've both been in the same race the last time. So assuming they can figure out the tech issues, we've got I think an interesting game coming up. A platform and a kind of game we don't see that often. Bird hopes that both of them win. I'm not sure we can figure that out. Let's see if we've got some streams up already. I'm looking at the special skills that they noted on their racer cards. Exuno says, will attack a guy that is spinning, that's risky. And Somegi says, expert navigator of mazes. I think neither of these skills will help them this game.
Hello, Mooware. Hello, chat.
Hello, Pond
We're
Noob.
all ready to go here, and nice solution. Ready to go here, Mooware. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm looking
Good.
forward to this game. It's a bit of an unusual kind of game.
This is a game that I've considered submitting myself, which doesn't really say much. I feel like my submissions are pretty scattershot, but this is a game I'm excited about. I'm excited about these racers too. Exuno versus Somegi is a classic at this point. Exuno here, I mean, joined in MT6, looks like 44 plus whatever they've done in this MT games, and they are bested by Somegi in the number of MT games. Not been around as long, but been slightly more successful at 62% win rate. We, especially based on this game, should have a good race and a close race.
It's got an interesting goal. Not really sure I understand how exactly this is gonna work. Is this just like one long track, one long stage?
Oh,
I mean, I think we can reveal the game already. Looks like they've
yeah, they're
got the
raring to
streams
go.
up.
So the game is SSX3. You finish the all-peak race, and based on the text that's just on screen, it's gonna take about 25 minutes. We are going to go from the top of backcountry to the bottom of Metro City. We are going from, I assume, the highest to the lowest point in these games. Yeah, I heard all peak and I was like, are we just doing all of the peaks? Like, are we just racing through each of the levels? No, this seems to be like weird. SSX3 has a like full mountain like combination level, like all the entrances and exits, the finish lines kind of connect to each other. Chat, you can correct us if we're wrong, because chat always knows.
I'm not sure there was this game, but I definitely remember. Yeah, must be a snowboarding game or something where the whole world is basically just one mountain, maybe even just one track.
It's definitely more common with more recent like downhill games. With these downhill games, if you're like playing one that's come out in like the last 5-10 years, they'll often have multiple sports. They'll let you do skiing or like downhill cycling or something on the same mountain and kind of make it a thing. Perhaps because SSX3 was the pioneer for it. I could not tell you from my experience with SSX. It was like always at a friend's house, and I couldn't tell you which SSX were which. I just remember enjoying them every single time I got my hands on them.
Sully's saying it's from the top of peak 3 to the bottom of peak 1, so there's gotta be some kind of, I don't know, teleport or something in between to take you there. So this is on the Gamecube. I wonder if we've got like Mario and Luigi and Peach available as characters.
So there is a save state, presumably because this sort of race might not be unlocked when we.
It says
we
something
open
about a cheat. Looks like this is what comes with a save state. It has the frozen timer cheat.
Yeah. But if there's cool snowboard, garb or characters or whatnot, I see no reason why they couldn't also be unlocked. Okay, so one of the big things that we're going to see with this game, and I think it's true with all the SSX, is that you have to do tricks to build up boost. Once you get boost, you go faster. If you go faster, you win the race. So it shouldn't be two racers just trying to get down the mountain as fast as possible. Just like regular snowboarding, there should be a bit of style here, a bit of grace.
Yeah, I'm very curious how this is gonna go. We don't even see a lot of like regular racing games, but this, I guess, isn't just racing, since as you say, you wanna do tricks so you can build boosts.
Yeah, I mean, like, so with the more recent Mario Karts, like, you can think of like the boost of, like, you go over a ramp and you do a trick and that makes you go faster, sort of thing. But we're going to be doing, I mean, it's a snowboarding game. It's not going to be that dissimilar from your Tony Hawk Pro Skaters. I have a suspicion that most people in chat are, if not familiar with SSX3, have an idea in their head what it's going to be. Good question. We're going to hear some DMCA music potentially, which would be
Really?
unfortunate. Yeah, it's a.
Well, I guess I could turn it down and turn on Rainwave if that's a problem. Let's see.
We'll see it when it comes. This looks sick. I'm curious with this particular course if the higher in the mountain courses are more difficult as a rule because they are higher in the mountain. And so if we are doing this, we might actually be on one of the harder parts of this particular 25-minute or so race. Okay, we've seen our first trick there from Somegi, who's otherwise been sending it. We'll see if they can get good use out of this boost. Exuno seems to just be struggling more with the game as a whole.
Doesn't really look like there's like one clear path to take. Are there better and slower?
Nope, you're dead. Off limits is a nice way of describing you have died.
Exuno entering a mysterious cave.
Somebody's doing what I would like to have done, which is if you go sideways on the tricks, you risk like not landing them and like coming your board sideways. Their favorite trick is seemingly just doing front flips, which are like hard to mess up. Right now they're just going off, because why not?
So this boost bar over there is a bit involved. I mean, it has these super uber letters and now one of them is lit up.
Oh, we just grinded a tree and flew off into the void? The void is fine. The void is part of the track. We're good. Exuno, I have a suspicion, is learning this game on the fly, while Somegi has some level of experience. Both just, they are further behind, but also their score is approximately 50,000 behind because Somegi has a score of 50,000.
Yeah, Somegi did try tricks pretty much every big jump. Exuno would have a big jump there, but didn't do anything. Might be busy enough just staying on the track.
Yeah, we had, it was me and Maurice actually. We were watching the Arctic Edge, the car game that was generally on a mountain. And we had a conversation about our favorite, like DMCA soundtracks. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 always come to mind, but I do believe he might have settled on SSX3, which we're not gonna risk DMCA. We if we're gonna do all these casts for every single game, we want to make sure that the VODs are available. But our racers are presumably jamming.
I did see a pop-up for the track and it said like EA Big Tracks or something, so maybe that's something produced for the game. Since we are using a save state, maybe Maurice thought of this and changed the settings so it only plays game-specific music and no licensed tracks, but I don't really know.
Somege's lost their bar. Like, they're still doing tricks here, but
so how do you...
Yeah, Workshop's a real band.
Does the spin say how... Oh, that's a screenshot, okay. So the boost is like a button, I guess? It's not like you just go faster because your meter is higher, you actually have to spend it.
Yeah, so the boost button does two things. It's one, the adrenaline boost. It's also the wipeout recovery, which in a game like this is like a pretty crucial button to acknowledge. Yeah, Somegi got comfortable here. It was just started off the race just mainly doing like front flips and back flips, and is now just like come to a conclusion that this game is going faster when they do tricks, even if it's causing them to crash more. They are styling. They are being extreme. Extra X, please.
So the pace spin explains a little bit about the boost bar. Fill the boost bar to go into Uber mode for a short while, and while in Uber mode, do 9 Uber tricks by holding a grab button and pressing B to spell Super Uber. You now have unlimited boost for some time. This is especially a good thing to have on the short segments between the tracks. Okay, that also explains how the tracks are connected, I guess. There's some kind of drivable connection there. Boosting while grinding gives you a ton of speed. So the pace spin goes into details about how to go fast, how to get these super Uber specials. But still, it's a lot if you're blind to the game, I guess.
We had an SSX in Friendfest, and it was like beat the high scores and stuff. And I recall Maurice being on my team, Maurice being the submitter of this game, and he just like on day one just like made a video about how to go into Uber and do these big tricks, and I looked at it and I went, I can't replicate this. I don't know what you're doing. It doesn't make sense. And I don't think in a race situation, like some of this pace spin is you've played SSX2 and here's how to play SSX3. It does not apply to these racers, though it might apply to Somegi. Somge's
she's
making it look like
tricks.
they've played this game before.
Well, that would be funny, including a little tutorial video in your paste bin. Yeah, racers, watch this quickly before you're ready up.
We could use it. I'm thinking. I cannot tell you the name of our new sightline. And I'm just like, here, have a 2-minute video of what you're actually doing in this game, and would be good. I don't think it's necessary. Thank you. For SSX3, I'm gonna say watching Maurice just be very good at a game would not be something I'd love to do prior to going into a race. I will just be somehow more demotivated. Okay, so this looks like Somge's transitioning into ow.
She can get out of there.
Is trying, like, this is probably like the transition between 2 levels.
Mm-hmm.
It just has that sort of like nothing going on vibe. And this was at Halo's good music for this. This is at 8 minutes, so see if we can pin when Exuno passes it. I have a suspicion it's going to be probably like 5 minutes away. Yeah.
Little trap there. Bridge collapsing. So I would expect that you can just go across the bridge while it breaks behind you, but let Exuno fall down.
This game is so unrealistic. It's so funny. when I was a kid, I would watch people play Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Or like I would play Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I'm like, oh, skateboarding is so cool. Look how much you can do. And then I would go watch like Tony Hawk and anything that he isn't doing a 900, and I'd be like, so why isn't he manualing everywhere? And
yeah, how is he gonna keep his combo up?
What is he doing? Why is it so much easier in video games? The pop off the grind and go flying into the sky, I think is the most unrealistic thing here, other than we've died like 20 times so far.
No, nobody dies. We went out of bounds. We went
out of bounds.
Off
we
the
went
course.
Out of bounds. Oh, it does say in the pasteband, there's out of bounds signs on most of the tracks. These lead to shortcuts. That doesn't seem like teaching our kids how to be good snowboarders on the mountain in real life. That anecdote in chat from Furred Turret saying going golfing after playing Mario Golf and being furious. What do you mean I can't use my driver on every single shot I'm doing? What?
Oh, Exuno's also on the end of the first section.
Yeah, so I'm only a few minutes behind. I think I said 8 something when Somegi was here.
Yeah.
That being said, this is essentially a racing game, and as a rule, racing games are a bit hard to come back. Like, what are we hoping for as Exuno that's going to happen to Somegi that isn't already happening? Somegi
Somgi's lighting up in all the colors.
It's just hitting the jackpot.
Yeah, it looks like there are like several separate paths, because I was looking for a path I saw on Somgi's screen, and I don't think Exuno went there.
Exuno's trying things. Like, he went for the grind here, just trying to like play the game, and is missing something about how to like jump up onto a thing. Which I assume he has some experience with, like, you know, snowboarding or skateboarding games. But I have a suspicion Somgi's probably put hundreds of hours into like a Tony Hawk Pro Skater or something similar. There's just a big, not skill difference, but like just knowledge difference that's very apparent coming into this race.
I just noticed the sign there pointing in 2 directions, and I think it said like right side race and left side and probably stunt or something.
Let's go race. I'm gonna say race is the faster of those two words.
Yeah, that's where Exuno wins.
Meanwhile, we are just the fireworks show. If you're showing like this level of Somebody's confidence, and obviously you're not aware of where Exuno is, if you see something that is basically a shortcut, are you taking it every time, or are you just trying to stay on the path?
I mean, I'd probably try for shortcuts first, and then if it turns out they aren't actually shortcuts, I can do them, then I'd slowly become more careful.
Yeah, Myth saying in chat, cool shortcut. Somegi just went through a sign, kind of basically suicidally, like crashing into it, and it just turned out to be a cool tunnel under it.
I'm guessing it was indicated somehow that it's probably a shortcut.
If you just like hate advertisers, which definitely feels like something you do in 2002, and you're into extreme sports, crashing into the sign might just be natural.
So chat wrote DNL earlier, and then I saw these upside down 7-Up signs that read like DNL. I'm not sure, do they have the 7-Up license, or is that... Because I'd expect that's not enough obfuscation, it's still a 7-Up sign.
Yeah, we did good to get onto the Rainwave. Darren Baranowski won't get us in trouble, but Queens of the Stone Age definitely will.
DNL is a drink. Okay, I'm not familiar with that.
Do you know? Was it like extra caffeinated? Or was it something lame? Like the 7-Up is lime lemon, and they were like, this one's lemon lime.
Crystal 7-Up. It's transparent now, unlike the other 7-Up.
I'm trying to think. There was like a Mountain Dew that was worse for you. Like had more sugar, more caffeine.
Is that how they advertise
like,
it?
This is pre Code Red. I think Code Red might have been like their first one that really made sense. But what was DNL? This is just like trying to find the brain connection to the brain connection to the brain connection. Like it's in there somewhere, but I have to like think about where I was at the time that I saw DNL, who I was with. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna distract here from Somegi just going down this tunnel real quick. Gotta hit this grind. This game's like asking things of us at times. Otherwise, you just fall into the pit. And falling into the pit there honestly might have been faster. That was a very slow grind.
It went uphill, but not quite with enough speed. Oh, jump
Okay,
bit
so
short.
if Somebody's not making that jump, I don't know how Exuno is going to do it. They also just don't have boost very regularly.
Skate seems familiar. I think Exuno's probably like 2-3 minutes behind.
Which makes sense if they're 2 minutes behind on the last gate and Somegi has a bit more pace. There's no reason Exuno wouldn't be another 30 seconds behind or something. This game looks really fun, by the way. I kind of just want to go play some SSX afterwards.
I've never played any SSX, but I've always heard good things.
Like that's the thing we had the conversation. I put it in Discord of a cousin game of just like one of those games that you go over to a friend's house or a cousin's house and like they just have a game that you won't have. And for me, that's basically any game that was on the PlayStation 1. I just didn't have a PlayStation. I would go over to a friend's house and like this would be my introduction to like a dog fighting game or a snowboarding game that I was just like slightly too young or slightly on the wrong system for. And so this is a game that I'm very much aware of but did not get my hands on very often.
Somebody's reaching some kind of village. That would be a good
That
marker.
might be the end.
Oh, really? Okay,
we're
supposed to be like 25 minutes for the whole thing, right? So I'm guessing this is more like end of part 2.
Yeah, so there is, as part of the goal, we are trying to reach a town, I believe? Or like, what was it? I saw a list from Sully that said there's like 7 places that we're going to.
Okay.
We're ending in a town. So
Somegi getting huge air again. Didn't get that much meter out from that.
trees are falling down. Okay, so the out of bounds sign literally says out of bounds, which is in the basement.
Okay, so the sign that says out of bounds means go here.
Yes. As a developer, I'm like curious what the logic is. Ow, stupid tree. Because I think of like the closest thing I have to developing is like being a dungeon master, and if I tell my players, "Hey, don't do this," they are 100% going to do this. But like sometimes I'm like, "No, seriously, don't go there. That dragon will eat you." They're like, "Ooh, a dragon. That sounds more interesting than whatever you were trying to have us do." And so I'm like, I think in an extreme sports game, having it be out of bounds makes sense, but it's a curious thing in like a video game of what you're meant to do to to have players go into place and feel like they're not meant to be there.
I'm thinking about other like action-y sports games, and I think most of these, like snowboarding, skateboarding, or even something like Burnout, they're all kind of framed as you breaking the rules anyway. Like it's not Gran Turismo or something where you have to stay on the track or you'll really mess up. Here's the town, I think, for Exuno. Guessing that's the same one.
Yeah, Exuno.
Yeah,
Okay, we're in.
So about 2 minutes behind, I think.
We're in Japan.
There's a very Asian red bridge coming up. Somegi crossed it earlier. So yeah, this is the Asian peak. This is little China on the mountain or something.
Whee! I don't think we're
getting
meant
a
to go
very
up there.
strange jump.
Yeah, it's fine. Just go in the pit. Okay, no, don't go in the pit. Go, go fast. Yeah, this unfortunately hasn't been that much. I'm not sure Exuno's going that much slower anymore. Beyond the fact that they're not pulling off. Ow. Okay, maybe. I don't know why you say things. But other than they're like not getting any boost because they're not doing tricks. But just like the first few minutes, I think where Somegi made a lot of their lead, and Somegi hasn't slowed down. And why would they?
I think Somegi also just doesn't make as many mistakes. I feel like I'm seeing Exuno fall and crash into stuff more often.
Yeah, a lot of Somgi's like crashes are because they're trying to do something cool. They're trying to make it over a large gap, and it's not working. Exuno has more just, running into the barriers on the sides sort of issues.
We going for the out of bounds sign again?
At this point, why not?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, apparently it just means, hey, here's a shortcut.
Just click all the buttons, land it, get given 10 different words describing what you did, and then do it again. Oh, we were late on 7 of those spins and 5 of those flips, but we still got 5 stars, so I'm not sure why you're criticizing this game.
So now Somegi has a lot of boost ready again. The pace spin specifically points out that you get a lot of speed if you boost while grinding. Oh, there goes all the boost. You just lose it when you fall.
Yeah, don't fall.
Yeah, right. Obviously, just don't make mistakes.
No.
Exuno hitting a question mark and some kind of message pops up.
That must be in the pace spin.
I don't think it was, but it's the first question mark I saw, so it's not a common item.
Is this just the first level of like the game like that uses it as a tutorial, and it's just like is still there when you go down?
Maybe it's a quest or something. I didn't really catch what it said, but it looked like some kind of messaging menu.
Yeah, I mean,
like
menu boss
fake emails.
Menu boss is a real thing. It's probably like number 12 on the things you have to be good at in MT, but it's still on the list. For going down this mountain for 20 minutes, I'm still surprised that there are mountains all around us that look the same height. We must have started up very high.
Well, we fell into the warp pool twice already.
This might be it. I don't see where this goes after this.
It does look like one of these ending points.
Okay, no. We're in a transitional where our submitter Maurice said this is a good time to use your boost. And I think we're out of the transitional already. Okay, I mentioned the mountains in the background, like they mattered. That the fact that it went from day to night in about 10 seconds is perhaps more concerning.
No, it's just the weather. Suddenly it got very cloudy.
Okay, chat saying that Somegi is approaching the finish, which makes sense for a first time playing the game, being handed a 25-minute goal as the base. I think being a few minutes behind would be generally expected.
Yeah, and that's where the frozen timer cheat comes in. We see the 25-minute timer at the top, so you only have 25 minutes for the whole race apparently. That's why we need the cheat.
Yeah, there was like some guy like Psyshock or something is the guy that we're racing. Haven't seen him. And I assume that the timer is kind of representing that. This game's really cool though, which, I mean, it's just like, it's always gonna be cool, but like this particular, like having this option, going snowboarding through this city as we're going down the whole mountain. From some cases, I mean, this is a racing game. They have no clue, and when you're racing a game that you are on a track and just going as fast as possible, you're expecting the races to be close. I would always be nervous thinking I'm on the last level, which they wouldn't know, but we're getting close to 25 minutes. So they may well be reaching the last level in their mind. And just trying to clutch it out, not be nervous, is important. I'm gonna say that the Warthog song was slightly more appropriate for snowboarding down a mountain than Dracula's Secretaries.
Yeah, sadly we're not snowboarding through a castle. That would be a good location. I mean, castles are on mountains usually. Why not have a quick shortcut through a castle or something? But if I'm reading this right from chat, then Metro City, so where Zombie probably is, should be the last section, so we're probably very close to the end now. Zombie using a big boost on the rail. Going very fast.
I mean, it's a culmination of 25 minutes of getting better at the game, getting more comfortable, and being comfortable with the tricks, being comfortable with the grinding, and at the end of the day, still just trying to rocket down this mountain. I've never seen this in real life. Like, I know Red Bull will take over like a city in South America and just like race down it, do a bunch of like cycling trips. But I've never seen like, and perhaps because it's kind of hard to just know when snow is gonna show up, I've never seen Red Bull or anybody do like a snowboarding through a city
I think
video.
that's the finish here for some girl. Finish! 0 seconds! Incredible!
0 seconds! That's a new world record, baby. Can't be faster than 0 seconds. Yeah, take that, Chris and Dom.
Somegi finishing with an incredible time of 0 seconds, somehow just stopping time.
Okay, see you guys for S63 and MT20 when we do Peak 2. GG Somegi, that looked fast. I think it's just, and this often happens with like a weird little sport game, is just somebody's gonna have more knowledge about the game. I'm curious how much Exuno has, because it looks like Somebody's just played a lot of something similar to this.
Yeah, I expect a lot of people have, but Somegi definitely doing much better here. Exuno's also in this final city section now, I think. So not too far behind.
Yeah, within the same level when there's 7 of them or so. Is this your favorite level that we've seen? Because it looks really cool. It's definitely more unique. I'm trying to decide is my favorite.
I guess it seems comparatively like dense and complex, lots of turns and so on. Somebody saying in race chat, I still have no idea what the hell any of the Uber stuff in the base bin was supposed to mean. You're saying you saw a tutorial video and couldn't replicate that?
Yeah. When we did it in Friends Fest, like we had another guy on the track with you, and the thing I was good at was starting the race like on the buzzer, punching that guy, and then playing the game. But apparently the playing the game portion, you're meant to just be doing like 7 tricks 5 times in a row, and then you just get a million multiplier and go fast. Yeah, you just going through this game the first time, you just see things where you're like, I definitely like am meant to be able to jump over this thing, and I'm not doing so. But you only get to see it once because you're just going down the whole mountain. You don't get a second attempt because we're not doing laps or anything.
Chat is mentioning something interesting. The PS2 version has more tricks because the PS2 controller has more shoulder buttons. Well, apparently this is the better version of the game otherwise. And there's the finish for Exuno.
Yep, makes sense here. Just over 3 minutes behind. GG's Exuno. You still, with your 0-0-0 beat Chris and Dom, so actually more in line with what the AI were doing, so Somegi seemingly did very well to get down the mountain under all those times.
Yeah, Somegi doing a great job with the tricks, getting boost.
Let's get excited here. I wanted to just say that to chat. Hi, Exuno. GG's. You want to just read your comment to chat? Because it's funny.
Yes, I have never felt more like this was my first time ever playing a video game. It was just like, a couple of times it was like, when someone plays like a modern platformer without ever having played a retro game before, is this like what they feel like? Is this just, why is anything? Why don't my controls do like
anything?
Yeah, it's like, okay, I understand. I filled up the bar once when I had like a bunch of rails to fill, and then the boost didn't even feel significant. Some girl's decision
was the boost actually like faster at all?
I don't know.
It didn't.
I honestly don't know.
You would be
was
the
like...
one to know, Somegi, because you were the one who was boosting, or like doing more tricks.
Okay. So I was doing a bunch of tricks early on, and I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, this doesn't feel fast at all. So I just stopped doing tricks other than on the big jumps.
Yeah, no, that was the correct decision.
Now.
And I was like, yeah, if I just, if I had committed to the strategy from the first, maybe I had a chance. But like, it's already 10 minutes in, and I don't have
felt like
the self-control.
I was so far behind. Like I was,
No, I like literally. I had to check my controls like 5 minutes in because I was like, did I bind something to jump and like go forward and?
Oh, the other thing that screwed me up really bad is I was holding A the whole time for the first couple sections.
Oh, yeah,
Which
no,
means
that's
you just,
not
like,
an
can't turn at
accelerate
all.
button.
You just crash into every wall.
No,
Once I was like, wait,
very
I should
similar
not
experience.
do that. This is not a like kart racer. You don't hold
Yeah.
A the whole time. Then I was like, oh,
Okay.
I can turn now. This is so much better.
So I think this is actually the same problem I had when we picked up like SSX for Friends Fest. Is I'm used to Tony Hawk Pro Skater where crouching means faster, to like
Yeah.
some extent.
I
That's
haven't played a
not the
lot of
case
those
here?
games either, but I have played a little bit more of like Tony Hawk's than,
I played a lot more Tony Hawk compared to this kind of thing.
and it
I
does
made
not
the
like
assumption.
translate at all either.
Yeah, not even remotely.
That was my assumption because we were watching the race. Somebody was doing more tricks and obviously ended up in the bottom of the mountain faster, but I was like, this is just a Tony Hawk Pro Skater difference as far as I can tell. I'm happy to hear neither of you were comfortable though, so it was a fair race.
Yeah, that
I
was
wasn't comfortable
for
at all.
sure. But it definitely was a fun game. It definitely seemed like it would be great if I understood what I was doing at all, but
Yeah.
I did not. So
Yeah, like I don't mean this as like a criticism of the game. I think the game is like probably super fun, but playing this particular race in a blind context felt so overwhelming. Like,
especially
did y'all-
because it
did you-
feels like, oh, if I was doing this right, everything would line up, and I just like get from rail to rail to jump, and like
yeah, and then there was the
cool.
whole like,
And then I'm like, but I'm not doing that, so I'm just gonna crash into every wall and rely on the reset racer button.
I also like baited myself into trying to figure out the super Uber thing.
Oh yeah, no,
I got a U once. I don't know how
got
I
the
did it.
S. I got the S, I think.
I got one letter. I don't really know what I did, but like before the race started, I reread this section of the pace bin like 50 times. Being like, what does this mean?
Yeah, because
Because
there's
they said
definitely
like
games.
you should use this on the short segments between tracks. I'm like, okay, if they're recommending
How?
it in the pace bin, that means I should definitely do it.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
had
And I played games
no
like
idea how it
Wipe
works.
Burnout or whatever, where it's like, oh, you do get your meter full, and that is really useful, even if you haven't played much of this. But in this case, no, you have to know how the game works to be able to do a combo.
Yeah,
Like, was it combo? Like, it
the
said you had
paste
to
bin
do
says you have to do 9 Uber
tricks
tricks. It says
by
Uber
holding
tricks,
a grab
but it
button and
never
pressing B.
explains what it is, does it?
So,
I
like,
don't know.
did it mean hold a grab button and press B while you're like in the air?
Who
And
knows?
Did I have to
People who have
press
played
something
the
else
game.
too?
I mean, Twitch
But,
chat is asking if you guys were holding forward, so
I was not holding forward until like 2/3 of the way through the race.
Oh, I was holding forward a lot, but I don't know that it actually helped me at all because it meant that
So
I
you crash into
didn't
walls
fit-
faster?
Yeah, yes. And it's really awkward because of the way that snowboarding works. It's like, oh, I'm going really fast, but I'm not making any forward progress on the track because I'm going like
You're
on
going
both
farther up the wall.
walls. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I don't know if that
Farther
actually
up
helped me
slower.
in this race context. But
There are a couple
no,
of styles
good
Whereas
match.
like, you just go out of bounds on a lot of jumps. You don't know what's coming.
Yeah,
You're going
there was a
fast.
lot of times where I didn't know where the track was supposed to go, so I just like, oh, big jump, cool, and it's like off course.
There's so I did like so many big jumps. I was like, oh wait, there's not ground here. Wish I knew that before I jumped.
Yeah.
well, thank you guys for joining us in chat and giving insight into how much SSX3 is an enigma.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if I played this again, I would probably get like the exact same time. I don't think I would be any faster at all, despite having played it before, because I still don't know what I'm doing.
I
That
think
was
I
the-
would
that's
be
the
able
question
to
I've been
match
trying to ask for
Somgi's
2
time
minutes.
because I would be able to like just give up on trying to use any mechanics and understand how to at least move the character on the track from the start and not lose like 4 minutes right at the beginning.
I guess I did lose a lot of time at the beginning.
Yeah.
I remember
Uh,
after the first section, you know how like there's those rails that tell you to go right or left where there's
Yeah.
normally like the finish line? I got stuck on that fence for like 30 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. No, so good luck in
we-
your next match. I played some good games this tournament. Still
could
regret
just do the
getting
interview by
stuck on that
themselves, it's
one
fine.
checkpoint in Cataract Array.
Oh yeah.
I would have lost a very different game, I'm sure, and a very different race against Varys. Otherwise, get destroyed in Hammer and Harry. But thanks for the tournament, thanks for the restream, thanks for the race. Good luck going on.
Thank you.
Right, yeah.
Somegi, do you happen to know who you're playing?
I think I'm playing against Jackazam, right?
Yeah,
Nice.
has that match been decided already? I think so. 'Cause
Yeah, there is
she
last
got
night.
knocked out.
In
Yeah.
hour-long Sokoban.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay. So, look forward to that.
Yeah, I'm sure I will once again barely miss the deadline. I'm like 4 for 4 on my last 4 matches missing
Yeah.
deadlines.
That's fine. I think as long as you're just a few days after, no one's gonna complain much.
Just do it now. Where's Brittany?
I'm good. I need to get
Okay.
food. Yeah, thanks for the restream.
Okay, yeah, that's the only match we have right now. Let's see what's coming up. So still today, in about 6 hours, we've got Crown Muri versus White Panther. And then we've got 3 matches lined up tomorrow. Yuga Blade Twin Swords, Freeball, Cookies Are Yum, Pika Pals and Kostucha. Already a Lizards 5 here, the first one, Yuga and Blade Twin Swords, so we're getting pretty far.
Yeah, and one Wizards 4 match, which it does not take that many Wizards wins to get into top 8. It's always suspiciously less than you think.
I think Wizards 5 might be the last round there before top 8, so we're really close to top 8 there on the Wizard side.
I wonder how my bracket's doing. Either way, Muware, thank you for hosting this. To chat, we've been here long enough, we'll know that we'll see you again next time. But if for some reason you haven't already followed the channel or followed the Discord so you can find out when those games are starting, please do so. We'll see you here, if not on the YouTube.
And we're gonna raid over to Prosentia because they've got a Kusu Grande match in about an hour. And you're gonna see mystery friend Jal there playing against Mikan. So cheer on them and see you soon.